Hey guys, Cheap here with an episode of Cheap Chirps. We're gonna be playing The Escapist during it. I forgot that I was even working on either of those. Uh, New game. Not tutorial. We'll do Central Perks. What face to go with? So, this Cheap Chirps. I always go with this one. I like that look. Alright, I don't care about any of that. It's Central Perks. It's not a difficult one. Warden Jim Sterling. That's great. I'll leave that up for a few seconds for you guys to read while I remember to increase the priority on these. Gotta do it. Let's see. Is it gonna be under E? So, this Cheap Chirps is going to mostly be me talking about anxiety and holidays. So, if you have no interest in hearing about either of those things, that's perfectly fine. I understand. Jim Sterling would be an amazing warden. That's totally gotta be a... That looks like... It almost looks like rabbit ears, but I don't know what that would be. Like a little hand. I don't know what I'm going on about. Welcome to Central Perks, blah, blah, blah. You guys have had time to read that. I'm aware of this. I've played this game before. You have a quest. How do I switch to combat mode? Is it shift? Is it tab? It's not control. Center? No. Caps lock? No. Left click. Nope, not doing that. Yeah, I'll get your playing cards. Oh no, I'm on roll call. I wasn't paying attention. I might not be. It's the start of the game. I don't have anything. Anyways, so I'm going to explain what anxiety feels like first before anything. And that's a very weird thing to try to describe to somebody, but I am taking on this monumental task. We're gonna eat food even though we don't need to. How do I... The spacebar? It is spacebar. I was trying to remember how to give somebody a beatdown. It's important. Anyhow, so I'm gonna ask you guys to envision a few things. Just keep them all in mind, and at some point I'm going to have you add them all together, because that's basically what my anxiety is. Anxiety is different for everyone. I did not mean to pick that up. Anyways, so this is just going to be how my anxiety is. How to start this? Whoops. Don't mind me. Oh yeah, well now you can't see me. Nothing? That didn't work out well. Alright. So I'm sorry, I love this game. Here. So you ever like be sitting around and you're just having like thoughts of like, oh, I remember when I did that thing in like 2nd grade and it was super duper embarrassing. And it was just the worst, and I'll never live that down, and I was so stupid. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now add in, like, a general feeling of, like, either everyone's watching you, or everyone's crowding you. Like, something is just, it's constantly in your space. And, like, not in, not like in a snuggly way, like something you don't want there is in your space. Who did I have a thing for? Was it you? I didn't mean to do that, I'm sorry. Who the heck do I... Wayne. I'll get out of the way of that. Okay, so... You got the feeling of just that sort of constant judgment of that one thing you did that one time. That was just so stupid of you. How dare you do that? Those are mine now. You've got the feeling of things are in your space and not in the good way. Like, I guess I have to elaborate on that more. If I'm near a friend or someone I'm comfortable with and they're close to me, that's fine. If someone I don't know is in my personal space, that makes me nervous and I really don't like it. I know for some people that's like a normal thing. You don't want somebody up in your business. In my case, it feels like I'm in danger. Like, if you've played Five Nights at Freddy's, this is going to be my best example. Just jump scares in general. You know, your reaction to that is, oh no, something is attacking me. That's how my brain reacts to someone being near me. And of course, your immediate reaction is, well, get away from it. You know, so like if I'm in a very crowded store or something and there's like kids running around screaming or something like that, or just people being obnoxious and near me, or somebody is like bumping into me for some reason or whatever, like I don't handle that well because I want to get away and I'm scared. And I'm aware that it sounds dumb. Like, that's the other thing with anxiety. Like, people with anxiety know for a fact that, like, their anxiety sounds like what upsets them isn't logical. I am fully aware of the fact that being around people should not make me nervous. That's a thing in life. You just gotta be around people. I know that every person isn't going to stab me, that everyone isn't covered in germs and they're going to give me some plague that's going to make me like deathly ill or something like that. I know every person in the world isn't going to hurt me. I am fully aware of that, and people like calmly explaining that to me just make me feel worse in the end. Because there's two parts of your brain. There's the part of your brain that is fully aware of how life works and that everything's fine and that you're not in danger or anything like that, that life is literally okay. There's the other half of your brain that is constantly like, oh, don't say that, everybody's going to judge you. Oh, don't do that, everyone's watching you. Every time you leave the house, people are watching you. That person right there that's looking in your general direction, they're staring you down. They don't like you for some reason. You did something wrong. All of those cameras, most of which are probably fake, they're all watching you, and everybody's going to think you stole something. Don't wear that hat that you bought from this store into that store again, because they're going to think you stole it, even though they know you bought it. Even though you can prove that you bought it and you've changed it over time. Don't do these things. Like, that is a constant. That does not turn off in my mind. Every time I record, my brain tells me, don't do that. People are just going to judge you, or, you know, people aren't going to think you're interesting. People aren't going to listen. People are going to ignore you. You're going to get bashed on the internet. All of these things. It's just unending. You know, and that stuff does happen. And that is stuff that, you know, I have to deal with in real life. Like, not everybody's gonna like me, and not everybody's gonna think that my channel is interesting. You know, some people out there might actually want to hurt me and stuff like that. But my brain goes to as bad as it can get. Gary, what you got? I'm taking that. And that's where anxiety gets overwhelming. It's just constant. The worst case scenario is going to happen. Like, I've had a panic attack because I realized how not zombie-proof my house was one time. That was back when my anxiety was really bad. Also, I hope you guys like hearing the sound. You're going to hear it a lot. Actually, we'll just go 10. Anyhow, so, like, most of the time, those feelings are fine. They wear off on their own. It's not too bad. You know, that constant feeling of... Sorry about that. Oh, it turns out bro was a cyst. That constant, like, underlying feeling of people are judging me, people don't think I'm interesting, people think I'm really boring, this person probably hates me. You know, that's fine in an undertone, and I know people say you shouldn't feel that way all the time. Don't tell me that, because I have no control over that. I literally have to live with the fact that my brain is constantly doing that to me. And in order to kind of get somewhere comfortable with life... Oh, why do you have a hand fan? Shit. Go away from me. I'm faster than you. Go. I think I'm good. In order to be able to handle everyday life, I have to basically accept that I am going to constantly feel that way. That's right, I forgot we could just walk out here. Yep, get inside. Oh, crap! Well, that's gonna be fun for me. I'd love to be inside. I can't beat up the infirmary staff. It gave me a warning and everything. Yes, please. Arrest me, please. I would like to be in there. This could be the best ending. I wanted to be inside. Thank you. I'll take solitary. Oh my goodness, that was stupid. But yeah, I know that that stuff is all illogical, and, like, the person that beats me up most over that is me. And, like... Okay, Greg and Hank. This is really hard to explain. I've never tried to explain this before. Actually, I have to my dad, and it ended up going like this. Okay, so my baseline is everything's bad. You know, sometimes I can force myself through that and actually enjoy myself, and it's great. Even with the everything's bad in the back of your head, if you've kind of trained yourself to be able to handle it, you know, you can have an enjoyable life, and things are still good. Which I think kind of goes for any mental illness You know, I have depression too, so sometimes I'm just feeling down, and the anxiety is like a monster that feeds on it. It's ridiculous. Um, Somebody has cake? Give me cake. So, what causes me to have panic attacks? I'm trying to think about what my biggest list of things is. Um, I actually have a plan for this. So if I go to someplace crowded and people bump into me and stuff like that, that can make me really nervous. Um, if... Alright, we need a magazine. If I'm not expecting something to happen, that can get to me. Oh, that's right, I know all the patterns. I don't want that. We'll use that. This is actually hard to get stuff on because there's so many like luxury items. I didn't want that. Nobody saw that. Could that not be used for... Ah, I didn't need knives. I will take that. You can have those. Anyway, so the list of things that tend to send me, or tend to send me into a panic attack. This is gonna be hard. Mostly hard for me to admit. Okay. So, I don't handle being rushed well at all. If I'm woken up and my day, like, immediately starts with, hey, we gotta do this, this, and this. Like, throw on clothes, we're gonna go and do this. I never handled that well. I immediately take an anxiety pill because I'll be jittery. I'll literally be shaky. Who is that for? You know, my dad's gotten to where he understands that being rushed has that effect on me, and he's very gentle on me if I have to wake up and go. Like, he'll try to wake me up a little bit earlier, or if we have to do something short on time, it's like, alright, we gotta go. If you need to take your pill before we go, that's fine, blah, blah, blah. You know, but we don't have a lot of time to kill in the house. You know, so that's actually pretty nice, and that helps me a lot. Like I said, my dad's my biggest help in the world. Another good example, like I told you guys about, I went to the grocery store and it was super duper crowded, and I had to literally calm my breathing because I could not handle that. It's not a thing I can do. Like, being in a place that's super duper crowded, especially when I don't expect it, destroys me. It feels like there's 10 times the amount of people. If someone bumps into me, I immediately want to cry or run away, or like, the worst is when I want to react violently, like, not like hit someone, but like shove somebody away in my effort to run. Like, I'm one of those people that if something scares me, I've thrown my headphones off before. Yeah, it doesn't go well. So, like, I try to keep to myself, you know, if you saw me in public when I was nervous, you would see I was trying to make myself as small as possible. What? Get in there. Alright. Like, I try to make myself very small. I try to not touch a lot of things unless I have to. I move fast. Forgot that was a thing I could do. That's what I want. Only two? That's okay. Like, that's my life, trying to be small. Because if something touches me, something bad might happen in my mind. Oh, here's a great one. Screaming children and screaming in general, but mostly children. Like, if kids are screaming and running around, I don't want to be in that building. Like, I don't know why. Like, a child, like, yelling for their mother or something like that, or crying or something like that, to me is like a sudden jump scare. Like, every single time. Like, I can feel my heart racing. I can feel myself starting to cry. Normally, I don't. I handle it well. I just... And yet again, this is on a good day. On a good day, I just stay really quiet, and I mutter to myself a lot, and I grumble to my dad, and I try to stay small, and I try to get out of that store as quickly as possible, and literally get to the other side, so I'm not near those people. What do you have for sale? Nothing I need. Ew. But another thing is, like, this is also something that people that have known me for a while have learned. If one thing happens, like, alright, everything stacks. So if I get woken up early in the morning, I'm not happy, I'm a little stressed. If we go into town and there's a lot of people talking at me at once, or like the other day, one of my friends was trying to talk to me about rogue stuff while my dad was asking me stuff about laundry, and I had just woken up, I wasn't ready for it. I got really stressed out and I was upset for the rest of the day. I took my pill and I just sort of hid from people. Because I can't handle those two things that fast. That's two things stacking up on me. Why do you have so many razor blades? He got battered with a spoon. No, I want duct tape, but I'm not getting it. There's better ways of breaking out of this place than the one I want to do. Thank you. I don't need foil. Now I'm going to find the computer and computerize. Yeah, the reason why the second thing upset me so much is because the first thing upset me. Like, I woken up, my dad was pestering me a little bit about laundry stuff, and yet again, I have a laundry pile, so that means it's not clean. You know, but he's shuffling around the room. Yet again, I just woken up, I'm not in my... Like... I have to get to where I can handle people after waking up. You know, I just have a little me time. I get fully, like, cognizant. I get to where I can handle human beings. You know, it's... like I said, I get to my happy place. Or at least my feeling stable place. Also, for those of you wondering, I actually do know how to play this game. I'm just goofing off. I need 5 more int for that. I just like goofing off in this game. For some reason, it's relaxing. I can turn that on and off. Neat. Anyways, right. So, those two things stacked up, and I got stressed out, and then the one friend kept talking to me all day, and it kept building. I never got to sort of offload. The things I want. There's a way to break out of here on day 1. I've never managed it, because I'm me. And yet again, I like goofing off in this game. If you guys want to actually see me play this game, just let me know. Alright, not me. So where was I? This is gonna be a long episode of Cheap Chirps. I'm sorry. It's gonna be all about anxiety too. Alright. So here's a list of things in a day that would lead me to crying. I get woken up early. I get rushed out of the door. We were supposed to be somewhere, and we started the day off running late. Say Dad and I were supposed to leave at noon. We left at like noon 30. Yes, I said noon 30. I picked that up from a teacher. I'll never stop saying it because it's easier to say actually. Yeah, we'll save the game. Anyways, so we're running late. I've rushed to get ready. Dad's not ready. I'm waiting on Dad. I go to try to relax a little bit. That gets interrupted because Dad's finally ready. Get rushed out the door. I half sleep in the car or something. Cars make me sleepy. Or we talk about something. If we talk about something stressful, holy crap, the day's going to get worse. If we're going to do something where I see family and stuff like that, that literally, like, I'm already not doing well. I've stressed out the day before. So, let's see. So we're in the car, we're going to go do something social. We get there, it's more people than I expected. The plans got changed like at the last second for some reason, because it always does. People are being touchy for one reason or another. They're near me too much. I think that's just a regular cookie. Let's see, what else can I throw in there? So we get there, there's a lot of stuff. Maya's got 2 kids. They're very young. Kids can be loud sometimes. That'll get to me. If we go someplace that's crowded and there's a lot of people and there's yelling and stuff, that'll destroy me right away. And normally I could take my pill and I can let it wave off of me and just relax and give literally no F's about anything. But here's where a lot of times the final straw is. Someone will notice that I'm stressed. I have a lot of tics, like not the bugs, like I'll twitch and stuff like that. Or I'll just try to stay very small and people notice it, things like that. And someone will ask me, "Are you okay?" And I know that they mean well. They're trying to be helpful. They're trying to look out for me. They're literally doing the right thing in most normal situations. The second someone asks me if I'm okay, like, the realization of how obviously, like, just how poorly I am handling being a human and being around people. Like, everybody knows. That hits me. Like, everybody knows. Everybody's been watching. It's obvious. I was right. People were watching me. People know things. People, are just sitting there analyzing every little thing. That's the end of it. I need to go. I need to be by myself. I need to have a good cry. I need to figure out how to breathe again. I'm done for. You didn't see nothing, Copper. And yet again, I am fully aware that I'm doing an awful job of explaining how anxiety sounds and feels. And that I've been all over the place with this. But that's how anxiety is. It's all over the place, and it's random, and you can't predict it. And sometimes it makes you feel like you have ADD because you're jumping from thing to thing that's stressing you out. And you just... I have to make lists so I can keep track of things, because I get so worried about all the stuff that I have to do in a day that I worry too much and I can't get it done. But if I have an actual list of, alright, these are the things I'm going over, I can do it. This is an episode where last time for one of the other Cheap Chirps, the first one, or how Cheap Chirps works, holidays, games I want to play. That tiny list kept that episode fairly organized, even though I sidetracked some. This list, I was like, alright, I want to talk about anxiety. I didn't, bullet print it out. I didn't, decide ahead of time how I'm going to explain it. This is how it went. This is anxiety when you're not trying to control it. This is anxiety when I'm basically at my base. This was me relaxing and talking about it. Because I sat down and I needed to relax and I decided to do a Cheap Chirps. I don't care about my lunch job. I'm gonna exit out of this in a second. So, if any of you, are ever wondering, hey, Cheap, how does anxiety feel? Just take this episode, take how all over the place it is, take how, add being frantic, add not knowing how to word it, add the fact that you don't know how to word it is eating you up because you're trying really, really hard. I am trying my hardest to explain how anxiety feels and how I get through my day with having anxiety. And this is as good as I could get. That's it. I'm sorry if it wasn't concise. I'm sorry if I didn't do a good enough explanation. Maybe someday I'll get there. But right now, this is where I am with this particular... I'm going to call it a mental illness because to me it is. It affects my life. And I don't know what causes it. Everybody says it's stuff in your brain. Everybody says just relax. But I can't. It's like depression. I can't just be happy. Although a lot of times I do enjoy myself when I am happy. Anyways, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thanks for listening to me if you did. If, you have a general idea, awesome. If you just made an effort to understand, that's even better. Because the thing that helps me out the most is when someone tries to understand. That means the world to me when someone sits down and they try to understand instead of going, well, why don't you just not worry about that stuff? I don't have control over that. Like I said, there's two halves of my brain. There's the half that literally tries to destroy me constantly. And there's the half that's like, look, we both know that's stupid. Look, we know that's not a thing to worry about. Look, that's not going to happen. Look, that's not going to cause a fire. It spends, half your brain is so busy trying to, calm you down from the other half that, you end up scatterbrained and all over the place. And, it's a real struggle. But, I can get through it, and I can do stuff, and I can sit down and play video games and talk to you guys, and that actually helps me a lot. Yet again, I'm not having a good day with the anxiety. I got a lot of stuff going on. I gotta get ready to run over to my grandmother's house, which I'm not looking forward to, because people I don't see every day. So, if you're ever wondering what I'm like on days where I'm really nervous, I'm probably gonna end up having to hide in a room. This is it. This is me. Anyways, I'm Cheap. This is Cheap Chirps. If you guys want to see me play The Escapist for real and actually, like, break out instead of just goofing off in jail, let me know. I love this game. And I'll see you guys, you know, when I get back from the holidays. Bye.